guys, it's Maureen, your Friday substitute for the Pagan Perspective. Okay, so this week we're talking about our personal paths. And if you watched my audition for the Pagan Perspective, you will have seen that I'm very new to all of this. I've been practicing, well, I wouldn't really say practicing. I'm currently in my year and a day of study, and I would say I'm about 3 months into it right now. So exactly what my path is, or what you would call it, is still very much up in the air. But currently, I just simply call myself pagan. I'm kind of leaning more Germanic, simply because I'm second generation German. And that's anything German I'm automatically drawn to. But the big thing that first got me into it was when my year and day class had to do a deity study, and we were told to pick 3 deities that we feel connected to in some form. And that's when I came, so I went on Google. I Google everything, and I'm sure a lot of you do too. So I went on there and I Googled simply German deities, because we were supposed to pick at least one that was from our personal heritage. And I didn't want to do not Catholic. Where'd that come from? I didn't want to do a Scottish, because it seems like a very popular path. So I went ahead and looked at Germanic, and I came across Tyr. And the first thing that caught my eye was in this website I pulled up that had his name, is it said that he was a one-handed god. Now, coming from a Christian background, the idea of a god having an imperfection blew my mind. Because, Christians are always taught that God is perfect, and, will never be perfect like God, but he is perfect. So, when I started doing research on him and I found out that he was a war god, that piqued my interest even more. One, because I'm a major tomboy, and 2, because I was a Marine. And when I did my research on him and, found out exactly how he got lost his hand, it really resonated with me, because it sounded like something a Marine would do. I definitely think if you're interested and you've got the time, look up Tyr. Wikipedia has a quick little thing about him, and it talks about how he lost his hand and everything. It's a really interesting story. Yeah, you should check it out. So that was the big thing that got me about the Germanic path. And then I recently read about Frigg, and she definitely caught my eye too. So basic, belief. I think that there is, when it comes to the god and the goddess, I look at it kind of like as a Christmas tree. You know how it starts at the top and it breaks off, and then it comes in and breaks off again, and comes in and breaks off, and it just has this pyramid kind of effect. That's how I look at this higher power is. I believe at the very top you have spirit, and that's all I like to call it, is just spirit, because I don't know what else to call it. But since, the idea of just spirit is such a big thing to try to wrap our heads around, naturally we as humans break that down into something that we recognize. So we break it down into the masculine and the feminine, and that's how you get god and goddess. And then again, that's encompasses a lot of things. So the human mind, again, automatically breaks everything down even more to what we can put a face to and what we can understand. And that's how I believe we get to all these other, Tyr and Frigg and Odin and all these other gods, is they encompass a specific aspect of the masculine or the feminine, which is in all spirit. So I hope that made sense. It makes sense in my head, but not, you know how that works. Sometimes what makes sense in your head doesn't always make sense when you actually speak the words. But those are that's kind of my idea of what this higher power is that's, above us. As far as things like witchcraft and magic go, I fiddled around with a little bit of candle magic when I first started, and then I found out that wasn't a smart idea. And I probably shouldn't have done it because I think my mentor wouldn't have liked me to do it in the first place. I hope she doesn't find out. Yeah. But and that's something I don't want to play with right now. But I do think it can help you out a lot if it's something that you do want to try using, as long as you're smart about how you use it. But that's definitely something. I think Warren. I hope I gave the right name, Warren. Sorry if it's wrong, but Thursday sub made the comment of that's something higher, or a higher learning that he hasn't gotten to yet, and I definitely agree with that. And I think that's a good way to put it. I think all in all, the big part of my practice will probably be animals. I naturally feel drawn to working with animals a lot. I'm actually going to be going to school to become a veterinarian pretty soon, but I've always, even when I was really young, I've always felt a special connection to animals. I've always been told I'm really good with them, especially ones that are scared of people and whatnot. It's just some kind of weird connection, especially when I come across an animal that I know is there to give me a message. It's this really, really cool, just instinctual kind of feeling. It's kind of hard to explain. I'll tell you the most recent one that I had was I was lying in bed and I was kind of in between. I was, not quite asleep but not really awake. That in between kind of state that you get into, where you're somewhat conscious of what's going on around you, but you're like that close to falling asleep. And I saw a dragon sleeping outside of my window, and he was a really pretty like silvery white color with flecks of gold and blue, and he was lying outside of my apartment window, and he was curled up and he was sleeping, and I felt like he was definitely there to protect me. He was there to make sure everything was okay while I sleep, and make sure that it was all good on the home front and whatnot. And I haven't seen him again since then. I'm gonna try to do some meditation on it and see if I can't get a better look at him and maybe get a name or something of that nature. But yeah, so that's really pretty much it. Like I said, I really don't know what kind of pantheon I follow or anything right now, and I definitely don't have a specific name for my path. Simply just pagan is all I go by for right now. But if I get further than that, I'll let you guys know. So hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see all of you later. Blessed be.